Okay. Yes, we'll go ahead and start with the roll call vote. Director Stutzman,
Here.
Director Leeper,
She's on mute.
she's here.
I can find my
Yep.
mouse.
That's okay. Director Orvis,
Here.
Director Witt,
Here.
Director Peterson,
Here.
Director Meyer,
Here.
Director Gruber.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, well, having the roll call, I would like to call this meeting to order on this Tuesday, May 28th, 2024. The physical location is the James L. Robinson Administrative Center, 1002 West 1st Street, Cedar Falls, Iowa. The actual meeting is taking place virtual. So I will read this statement regarding virtual meetings. A governmental body may conduct a meeting by electronic means only in circumstances where such a meeting in person is impossible or impractical, and only if the governmental body provides public access to the conversation of the meeting to the extent reasonably possible. The place of the meeting is the place in which the communication originates, and the minutes of the meeting shall include a statement explaining why the meeting in person was impossible or impractical as pursuant to Iowa Code 21.8. And the reason for the meeting being held by electronic means today is really due to our regularly scheduled meeting being on Memorial Day yesterday, but still needing to hold a special and timely meeting for the ad hoc purpose of approving recently ratified bargaining agreements. So with that, I will call this meeting to order. And the first item on the agenda, and it is, the meeting is ad hoc meeting for the purpose of approving contracts, but we did have an HR report to approve as well. So do we have a motion to approve the HR report?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Are there any discussion points regarding the HR report? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Okay, motion passes. So item 3 on the agenda then is our CFEA contract. So we'll get a motion to approve in a second, and then we can have any discussion items regarding that. So do I have a motion to approve the CFEA contract?
I move that the Cedar Falls Community School District Board of Education approve the 2024-2025 Cedar Falls Education Association collective bargaining contract as presented.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, and so maybe I'll just give Dr. Talbot a minute to go over this with us and have time for any questions or comments or anything related to this. So Dr. Talbot, do you want to just give an overview of this real quick?
Yeah, thank you. The agreement, the Cedar Falls Education Association was reached on May 16th. Contract to cover a one-year period effective 1st of July this year through June 30th of 2025. The agreement covers licensed teachers, school counselors, librarians, instructional coaches, athletic coaches, etc. And the agreement has been ratified by the CFEA members. The items are as follows. So we added $550 increase to the 23-24 basic salary schedule, the BA Step 1 wage generator. All employees on that schedule will advance by one step. There will be lane changes as per contract for those that qualify and meet the requirements. And then we made some changes to the base wage generator for that athletic coach schedule, which will now become $37,425. And then we also made some changes, additions to that schedule. Specifically, we've added a co-ed, as in co-ed, boys and girls bowling head that will pay 13%, and we've done the same with an assistant coach for that co-ed bowling at 9%. Currently, we have boys and girls bowling heads, and now they will be basically practicing together. I don't believe they will be competing as co-ed teams, but Mr. Becker asked that we add a co-ed head and assistant. There will be a first Lego League district-wide coordinator, pay 6%. That position has been in existence for a few years on a trial basis. It's been proven to be necessary and beneficial. So we've now bargained the agreement at the rate of 6%. Adding a Rocket Club assistant, 4.5%. There's been a Rocket Club for many years, now well established, and there's need for an assistant. And then adding a Science Club sponsor at 4.5%. The base wage generator for the department chair will also increase to $36,945. So the base wage increase, including lane advancement and salary changes as described, is a 2.99% increase. We recommend acceptance of this tentative agreement. I also remind the board that insurance is no longer a bargainable item, but clearly it has an impact on costs and so forth. And so we include that information for your review at the bottom of the page in front of you. The total cost of the settlement is $1 million and $739,878.
Okay, thank you for going over that. I think probably what's top of mind for most folks is minimum teacher salaries, and also kind of how that affects those that have been working longer and therefore might be closer to that minimum. So maybe would you please just I guess let us know how the minimum teacher salary requirement is being met, and any results of compaction or sort of minimal gaps between the minimum teacher requirements and those that exceed those requirements.
Yeah, thank you. Director Lowell and Director Jenny were a part of the bargaining team, and both sides went into bargaining with several objectives that we shared. In summary, we shared a desire to continue to have a salary schedule to retain the lane and step structure that we have had in place for many decades in this district, and does serve everyone well. We also wanted to continue to, if it was going to be possible, and it has proven possible, to bring teachers in to be a step 3 on that schedule. I won't go into the history about why we bring people in at that step, but we wanted to continue to do that if possible, and that has been accomplished. And although there has been some compression that is often referred to as compaction, but from my background, I refer to it as compression within the schedule between teachers that formerly were further apart in their salaries than they will be in some cases now. The district and CFEA does not feel that the outcome of bargaining and the new schedule is going to cause compression issues to the point where they're going to be problematic. As far as the new state requirements are concerned, the starting salary minimum now will be $47,500, the state required minimum, and our new starting minimum at BA Step 3 will be $47,981. So we will be $481 above that state required minimum. And that the BA Step 13, which will be anyone with 12 years of service or greater, the state minimum is $60,000, and our salary at that step will be $60,458. That's $60,458. So again, we are $458 above the state required amount at that number of years of service. Just remind the board that for the 25-26 school year, those minimums for the state go up to 50,000 from the 47.5 and up to 62.5 from the 60,000. So there will be another bargainable challenge to address to accomplish those thresholds. But I'm optimistic that approaching the challenge in the way that it was approached by both sides this year, that will be accomplished. And we're fortunate to have had the challenge to resolve, because it means there's additional compensation available for teachers.
Okay, any further questions for Dr. Talbot?
So quick question. Well, you've alluded to this a little bit, Dr. Talbot. We bring in rookie teachers at step 3, is that correct?
We bring in teachers straight out of college and with 1 year of experience and 2 years of experience at the 3rd step. And that has been the case in the district since before 2005. I think that was put in place, as I've been able to piece together in part, as a way of meeting some previous changes in the state with regard to salary minimums as far as the base wage was concerned.
And I don't think this is an unusual practice. Quite a few schools do this, if I understand correctly.
Yes.
One thing you did say, though, was that step advances would continue. I take it those people are actually locked in on that step 3 for their first years until they reach their 4th year. Is that correct?
No, if you're hired on the 3rd step, all other things remaining equal through negotiation. If there's step advancement, then the following year you'd move to the 4th step.
Okay.
All our teachers remained on their 2022-23 step during the past year, the year we're currently in, 23-24, because we bargained to retain everybody on that step, but we added a fixed sum of money to every step in the schedule for this past year. That was a highly unusual thing in this district to do, but it actually helped solving the challenge of getting people to the 47.5 threshold and the 60,000 threshold. It made that challenge that much less difficult, because with hindsight, we were not foresighted enough to know the state was going to do this, but we got lucky.
Okay. Thank you.
I guess my comment here, and as Dr. Talbot alluded to, Directors Leeper and I were part of board representation in the bargaining negotiations, and I felt like both sides argued or bargained in good faith, and you know, I think there's a lot to be a lot to be proud of here in this agreement. You know, obviously with the help of some additional TSS dollars from the state, but I think overall this is a win for our teachers. Director Gruber, you have a question?
Yes, Dr. Talbot, you had mentioned briefly in your description that there was a desire on both parts to continue having a salary schedule in the district. Was that ever something that was proposed by one side or the other to eliminate here?
No, it was not proposed for elimination by either side.
Just wanted to follow up on that.
Okay. Any further questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. And we will move on to the agenda item number 4, which is approval of the Teamsters contract. And we will, same process here, we'll motion and second, and then we'll open it up for discussion and overview. So do I have a motion to approve?
I move that the Cedar Falls Community School District Board of Education approve the 2024-2025 Teamster Collective Bargaining Contract as presented.
Okay, and do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, so maybe same overview here. Dr. Talbot, do you want to kind of give us an overview of this, and then we'll open it up to question and comment?
Thank you. A tentative agreement was reached on the 20th of May, 2024 on a contract to cover a one-year period, July 1, 2024 through June 30th of 2025. Tentative agreement has been ratified by Teamsters members. The base wage increase will be as follows, excuse me, for classifications 1 through 7. We have 7 classifications in total. There will be a 45-cent an hour increase to the base wage. And in addition to classifications 5 through 7, there will be an additional 55 cents an hour to those classifications. Or said differently, classifications 5 through 7 will actually be increasing by $1 an hour. And the classifications 1 through 4 will be going by 45 cents an hour. The wage increase for returning employees are those same amounts, 45 cents for everybody, and then an additional 55 cents an hour for classifications 5 through 7. The total dollar increase on the base wage, FICA and IPAs, is 3.22%. And in addition,
Jonathan, remember to bring your book.
Some interference there. Carry on.
Okay, yep. There will be also addition on a change in the classification system. The head groundskeeper position is being advanced up the schedule from classification 5A to class 6. And we've also bargained the starting rate for a new job, which we are calling the site head groundskeeper / lead custodian at the new high school, which will be class 5A. I mentioned briefly that the district is not required to bargain the creation or addition of a job or a new position, a new job, but we are required to bargain the base wage for any job that we create. And with the additional facility capabilities at the new high school, including outdoor surfaces and likely a lot more activities occurring at that site, for example, competitive soccer, then there was the necessity for the creation of an additional position, namely the site head grounds position, and also we're designating it as the site head position as titled, so that if there's indoor activity that needs to be provided and support for the custodial crew that are inside the building, this person could then adjust activities from the outside to the inside of the facility as need arises. That's the logic behind the creation of that new position. And again, with the increased facility functionality at that location, it increases the complexity and responsibilities of the head grounds position that we already have, which is why we bargained the increase in classification to reflect that additional responsibility. And we recommend acceptance of this tentative agreement. And again, the notation at the bottom addresses the impact on insurance, which is not bargainable, and the total cost of this settlement is $80,173. I should add that this covers a group of employees, 52 employees that are in custodial and skilled trades positions.
Okay. What is the overall cost?
That's 80,173.
I see that at the bottom now. All right, any questions from the board regarding this one?
I would just add, excuse me, interjecting, that you'll recall during the early stage of the legislative session, there was a proposal that support positions would pay at least $15 an hour. That requirement did not end up in the final legislation, but we took note of it. And I mentioned for the board's information that the starting rate of pay now for this group will be $17.28. So we were already above the state, above that proposed legislative minimum of $15 an hour in this group. And so we feel good that the schedule from class 1 through 7 is a competitive schedule. These positions are essential to the operation of all the facilities. And we want to make sure we continue to be competitive with the local market.
Okay, well, I don't think I have any further questions. And hearing none others, then I would move to a vote. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. And that is really the all the items that we had today. Again, this was just a special meeting to approve these contracts in a timely manner after ratification. So thank you all for calling in on your otherwise busy days. And I will move to adjourn this meeting. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Meeting adjourned. Thank you all.